Gunmen open fire on buses, abduct passengers on Abuja-Lokoja Road. Governor Uba Sani orders probe into Kaduna mosque killing. Rising cost of living forces breadwinners to abandon wives and other dependents. Away from Nigeria, police in Uganda foil bomb attack on church. These are the headlines on Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for joining. Gunmen have opened fire on 2 commercial buses and abducted scores of passengers near Ochoyi village along the Abuja-Lokoja highway. One of the passengers of the buses who escaped into the bush, Shadrach Jonathan, said he boarded the bus at Jabi in Abuja, traveling to Enugu, and that they ran into the gunmen. He said the incident happened around 7:33 p.m. after Omoko village last Thursday while descending a slopey part of the road, adding that they started hearing gunshots and the bus suddenly veered off the road into the bush. He added that some few seconds after, some people emerged from the bush with guns and ordered them to come out from the bus and led them into the bush. A member of the vigilante in the area who preferred anonymity confirmed the abduction of passengers from the 2 buses, adding that the vigilantes were still combing the forest to trail the gunmen and rescue the abducted victims unhurt. The Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani on Sunday directed security agencies to thoroughly investigate the reported killing of worshippers in a mosque in Ikara local government area of the state by bandits. Now, the chief press secretary to the governor, Muhammad Shehu, said this in a statement describing the incident as wicked and barbaric. The governor vowed to go to any length within the law to bring the Ikara bandits to book. The government, he said, will not rest on its oars until peace and stability is restored to every part of Kaduna State. Governor Sani, according to Shehu, has sent a delegation led by Samuel Aruan, overseer of the Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs, to condole the people of Saya village, Ikara local government area, where the incident occurred. The delegation will also carry out an assessment of the security and humanitarian situation in the area and advise government appropriately. The abductors of 2 persons in Ekiti have refused to release them after collecting 3 million naira as ransom 2 weeks ago. The victims, Fagbemi Abayomi and Ojo Musa, were both abducted in Aisegba, Ekiti, Bonyi local government area of the state at gunpoint. A close family source said that the kidnappers contacted her on the phone to demand 15 million naira ransom, but later reduced it to 10 million naira a day later. Now, she said that family members were shocked when the victims were not released 2 weeks after payment. When contacted, the Amotekun commander in Ekiti, Brigadier General Olu Adewa, said that the command was making frantic efforts to rescue the victims. Following the implementation of the removal of subsidy by President Bola Tinubu on May 29, communities in Borno State, northeast Nigeria, have been experiencing hard times as prices of goods and services have hit the roof. In this special report, Adamu Ngulde reveals that many residents in Maiduguri have been reacting to the situation, urging the government at all levels to come to their aid. The report.
Inflation caused by the removal of the fuel subsidy has hit many residents of Borno State in northeast Nigeria very hard. Before President Bola Tinubu announced the implementation of fuel subsidy removal on May 29, Modu Mustapha, a father of 5 who resides in Old Maiduguri, Jere local government area of Borno, explained that he used to spend 50 naira to board a motorcycle from his house to the post office. We are really suffering. I hope the government can look into this and bring a positive shift because it is really not easy. Also, a measure popularly called Mudu of maize in the state, which used the salt for 700 naira, is now sold for 1,600, a development that has made it increasingly difficult for him to provide for his family. I can't afford to buy what I used to buy before. My income remains the same despite the high cost of living. I am just thankful for having an understanding family, despite not able to care for all their needs. The price of petrol removed from 194 per litre to over 600 naira. Among those deeply affected by the ripple effect of the fuel price hike are parents, students, schools, market women, and motorists. The constant fuel price hike has made it increasingly challenging for transport operators to sustain our businesses, causing financial strain and desperation. In a bid to mitigate the challenges faced by citizens, Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has raised the number of beneficiaries from 300,000 to 400 households. The governor stated that this is a result of the 5 billion presidential initiative received by the state from the federal government to alleviate the hardship and sufferings among people of the state. Professor Ibrahim Umara is an economic expert, advised the government at all levels.
If the government will come up with an alternative of supplying the crude oil either to Dangote, Kaduna, Wari or Fatako refineries, that this is going to be for domestic consumption, they will refine it, and then the price will reduce back either at least just to 250 naira, and it will be affordable.
Rising cost of living is taking a toll on families, with many breadwinners abandoning their wives and other dependents because of declining income and food price hike in some instances. Some residents of Bauchi say friction between family members is commonplace, and this might not be unconnected with the high cost of living. Adamu Imam reports.
Some men are running away from their families because they cannot afford to pick up their responsibilities. There are also rising cases of women abandoning their homes because of friction with their husbands. Murtala Hassan, a community leader, and Aisha Tusani share their experiences on the current realities. People are facing difficulties. Even me as community leader, on daily basis, more than 20 to 30 persons will knock my door and beg for food. I don't have enough. I'm just pretending. As I'm talking to you now, my wife gave me 100 naira to board Okada and enter town. We are appealing to government to wake up before things get out of hand, since they know best ways. People are facing difficulties. Even me as community leader, on daily basis, more than 20 to 30 persons will knock my door and beg for food. I don't have enough. I'm just pretending. As I'm talking to you now, my wife gave me 100 naira to board Okada and enter town. We are appealing to government to wake up before things get out of hand, since they know best ways.
Honestly, between women and husbands, we don't have courage to thank God on situations like this. If you get husband that can bring small to eat, I think it's okay. But if they thought the other way, then problems might arise by the day. Though some men have big problem if a woman gets something fetching money for the family. So he uses that advantage to remain idle waiting for her, and even collects from her he would not pay back.
Sanchiroma of Grassroots Center Initiative for Development explained that many factors, including economic, are responsible for this.
Economic crisis that is happening in the country, that is one. And the second reason is that most of the households find it hard to sit down and table their financial issues. They just spend as they get at the end, they spend what they earn. So with this current economic situation, households need to sit down, see their income and see their spending and see where they can adjust so they can meet off with the daily demands of.
While some advise intending couples to seek guidance and counseling before living as a family, others say the government should address the high cost of living so as to reduce cases of abandonment.
Three persons have been confirmed dead following a heavy downpour that lasted several hours on Saturday at the Daikingari area of Suru local government area in Kebbi State. While confirming the incident, chairman of the Suru local government area, Muhammad Lawal, said that the flood lasted for several hours, destroying properties worth millions of naira. He said for over 20 years, they have been battling with the flood when it rains every year. The past administrations of Nasamu, Daikingari and Atiku Bagudu constructed drainages in the town to solve the problem, but didn't stop the flood from occurring every year. The chairman advised that the flood might be prevented if a concrete fence and outlet could be constructed around the mountains. He called on people of the area to desist from erecting buildings on waterways and culverts, as well as dumping of refuse. The Nigeria Medical Association called on President Bola Tinubu to activate immediate emergency measures to tackle flooding. NMA President Uche Roland Ojima made the call while addressing reporters in Owerri after the association's National Executive Council meeting. He also asked the government at all levels to assist people in flood-prone areas to relocate to safer places. He thanked the federal government for the recent upward review of the Consolidated Salaries medical structure. A collapsed one-story building with a penthouse in Ebu Umwenem or Tolo Newi North local government area of Anambra State has killed a father and two sons. The man, identified as Chizoba Anefuna, a builder, and his two sons lost their lives following the collapse of the building under construction. Speaking after the dead bodies were brought out from the debris, the Anambra State Chairman of Koren, Victor Meju, stated that poor foundation, poor concrete mixture, and poor quality of materials, among others, led to the avoidable tragedy. He announced the seal-off of the collapse site, noting that the owner of the building, Chukunafu Anamanjo, will be invited for questioning to aid investigation. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at why Jos farmers are returning to groundnut cultivation. Details and more after the break. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. A look at the top stories. Gunmen open fire on buses, abduct passengers on Abuja-Lokoja Road. Governor Uba Sani orders probe into Kaduna Mosque killing. In other news, Maiduguri residents have expressed divergent views over the sharing formula of the palliatives meant to support the poor and vulnerable. The Tinubu government had announced 5 billion naira palliatives to all states to help cushion the effects of the economic hardships and inflation caused by the withdrawal of fuel subsidy. Beatrice Kuruti samples opinions of some residents on the distribution. The report.
It would be recalled that last month, the Tinubu's government announced 5 billion naira and trucks of grains to state in a bid to lessen the hardships of the subsidy withdrawal across the country. Borno State has already begun the distribution of these palliatives to the targeted communities. Though the distribution is not completed, but some feel that the sharing formula excludes a section of communities and the purpose of ending hunger is still on the increase.
Just for their politicians and other political unit, they are distributing food items. It's not for everybody. Most of the people, they are feeling hunger, and then there is no money. In our situation where we are now, petroleum is increased. Most of the people, they cannot get transport. They are walking on their leg to their business place, and the business cannot move in well like before.
In those days, I saw in our street, they call the head of village, and they give him the cards. Instead of distributing it to the poorest people, they distributed it themselves. Somebody from Daralawanti, they carry the card to the London and Gwange. Is it good? It's not good.
For others, the motive of the government in reducing the hardships imposed by the subsidy removal is the well-being of the people.
Alhamdulillah, ya baza abinci. Wallahi situation ya ragu.
Alhamdulillah, food was shared successfully to reduce the current situation, and we are very happy about that. But still, we need more support because many people are still in poverty. We only heard that they are sharing food commodities in town, but we have not gotten anything till now.
Even the state government, or rather the NGO, or any other person who is going to help the nation, is supposed to find out the specific person who is supposed to be given to him.
For many Nigerians, they hope that the purpose of palliatives will reach IDPs, workers, the middle class, and non-members of the party in states. Beatrice Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Farmers in Jingir town of Basa local government area of Plateau State have explained why they are gradually returning to groundnuts farming after years of abandonment. The farmers told Trust TV's Ado Musa that low price in the past was a major factor that discouraged the farmers from going into groundnut cultivation. The report.
In 1960s, groundnut pyramids were built in northern Nigerian cities, such as Kano, where groundnut production was a major contributor to the economy. However, as groundnut production declined in the 1970s and 1980s, the groundnut pyramid disappeared and Nigerian economy shifted attention to crude oil. Farmers in Jingir say groundnut production declined in the past because of certain factors, but huge potential is now motivating them to return to the cultivation of groundnut. Before now, farmers abandoned groundnut cultivation because it wasn't lucrative. But today, they are gradually returning to it. This is so because the few people that remain in the business are getting good money, and the high cost of fertilizer, which prevent many people from going to maize farming, has also led many farmers to return to groundnut cultivation, which doesn't require fertilizer or much resources. Asked if groundnut cultivation is now profitable, some farmers answer in the affirmative. Groundnut cultivation is profitable now. Before now, it was abandoned because it wasn't profitable. But today, many are venturing into it due to the money that they are making from such farming. It is a cultivation that you cannot spend much, and if you are lucky, you harvest much. Groundnut cultivation is profitable because groundnut farmers live averagely. During the early harvest this year, we sold a 50 kg at 20,000 naira, even though the price has come down now. No matter the situation, groundnut farmers hardly lose. The farmers hope that agriculture will be given appropriate attention so that the country could return to groundnut pyramid of 1960s. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
We'll now take a quick break. The news update continues shortly. Now, away from Nigeria, Uganda police say that Sunday they foiled a bomb attack on a cathedral in Kampala and detained a man accused of trying to detonate an explosive in a crowd of worshippers. Hundreds of congregants were evacuated from the Rubaka Miracle Center Cathedral in the capital city after a man tried to enter the ground carrying an explosive, said police spokesman Patrick Oyango. Now, Oyango said that they carried out a controlled detonation of the improvised explosive device, which was made of nails, a motorcycle battery, a charger and a telephone handset, which was to be used in the attack. He said police trailed the man after receiving a tip-off about a possible attack on a house of worship and recovered the bomb inside his backpack when he was stopped and searched. He said police were pursuing 3 other men after the suspect, 28-year-old Ibrahim Kintu, revealed that he may have had accomplices. In sports news, Lithuania and Latvia make up for just 0.06% of the world's population, but their basketball teams make up 25% of the top 8 teams in the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023. Lithuania were the talk of the town with their win over the United States, while Latvia made waves with their win over France in the first round and another 2 over Brazil and Spain in the second round. The yellow-green ones from Lithuania have made Mall of Asia Arena their home since day one of the competition in Manila. Now they will get another shade of color because the unreal support of Latvian fans is moving from Jakarta to Manila from the final phase this week. And that's it for the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.